The sun was setting over a small village, casting long shadows across the dusty roads. At a tiny tea stall, a young boy named Rajib was stirring tea in small cups, lost in thought. His dreams were much bigger than the small shop his father owned. He wanted to be an engineer, but dreams didn't fill empty stomachs. The villagers often mocked him. "Why waste time studying? A poor boy like you will never make it big," they would say, laughing. Rajib clenched his fists but said nothing. Deep inside, he believed that destiny wasn't written. It had to be created. One day, Rajib's father fell severely ill. The family needed money for his treatment, but they had none. Without hesitation, Rajib sold his school books to buy medicine. As his mother wept, he forced a smile. "Everything will be okay, Ma." From that day on, he took full responsibility for the tea stall. But he didn't give up. He worked at the stall in the morning, tutored village kids in the afternoon, and studied at night. One evening, an elderly man came to the tea stall. He observed Rajib carefully and finally said, "If you want to change your fate, you must fight for it." Those words struck Rajib like lightning. That night, as the entire village slept, he lit a small oil lamp and opened his old notebooks. "I will not give up," he whispered to himself. Electricity was unreliable in the village, so Rajib studied under dim streetlights or by candlelight. Villagers laughed at him. "What's the point of all this studying?" they sneered. But he ignored them. One day, he heard about a government scholarship exam. Whoever passed would get a full scholarship to a prestigious university in the city. There was only one problem. He had just 1 month to prepare. Rajib pushed himself to the limit. He slept less, forgot meals, and spent every waking moment solving math problems and memorizing formulas. One night, his mother found him asleep at the table, his head resting on an open book. She gently placed a blanket over him and whispered, "You will make it, my son." Those words gave him the strength to keep going. The day of the exam arrived. Rajib, wearing his only clean shirt, walked into the examination hall. Around him were students from wealthy schools, dressed in expensive uniforms, carrying fancy pens. For a moment, fear gripped his heart. But then he told himself, success isn't in clothes, it's in hard work. The exam started. Rajib opened the question paper and his heart sank. Half of the questions were from sections he hadn't studied. He took a deep breath. "I will not panic. I will write what I know." With fierce determination, he began writing. Weeks later, the results were announced. Rajib stared at the notice board, unable to believe his eyes. He had ranked first. Tears streamed down his face. All the sleepless nights, the sacrifices, the humiliation, it had all been worth it. His mother hugged him tightly, crying tears of joy. The villagers who had once laughed at him now clapped in admiration. Rajib left for the city, pursued his engineering degree, and after years of relentless hard work, he finally achieved his dream. One day, a brand new car stopped in front of the same tea stall where he had once worked. Rajib stepped out, now a successful engineer. The old man was still there. He smiled and said, "You fought and you won." Rajib bowed his head in gratitude. "Your words guided me, Grandpa." That day, the village witnessed something extraordinary. A poor tea seller's son had turned his life around with sheer determination. Because when you dare to dream and fight for it, nothing is impossible. If you like this story, give it a like and share it with your friends so that more people can see it and benefit from it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates.